What's up, y'all? Like always, I want to mention my links will be in the bio for all my other social media accounts. I post daily on my TikTok and about daily on my Instagram too. Post daily on Twitter, so please go check those out. Follow, subscriptions would be very much appreciated. Today I'm going to be talking about my Heisman Watch. These are the players that I think are going to be Heisman finalists. The players I think potentially could be a Heisman. Now, this Heisman Watch that I will put out every week, it will change. These guys are not going to constantly be there. Some of them will, but some of them may drop. Some guys might enter. There's going to be a consistency of 6 guys every week that I talk about. I will post honorable mentions and highlights of the 6 guys on my TikTok and Twitter account pretty frequently throughout the week. But every week I will be posting a Heisman Watch video, and it's going to be a consistent 6 guys. There's going to be 6 guys on this list every single week. The 6 guys that I've chosen this week are 4 quarterbacks and 2 running backs. KJ Jefferson, Tyler Van Dyke, Caleb Williams, and Drake May. Those are the 4 quarterbacks I've chosen this week. Those are on my list. I feel like they have been 4 of the best quarterbacks. I want to give an honorable mention to Stetson Bennett. He's been really good. The only thing that worries me with him is he's doing good. He's doing too good. Now, he could prove me wrong and he could start performing, and I'll probably move him into my list. I'll just have to see what he does against the in-conference school. He did really good against Oregon. So, depending on how he plays, an in-conference school would be in South Carolina. It's the first in-conference game for Georgia. Depending on how he plays, he will probably move up into my list. He probably move in past a running back or up past one of these quarterbacks. But KJ Jefferson, 2 straight weeks, beat an in-conference school in South Carolina, played extremely well. Opened the year off against 23 Cincinnati, number ranked 23 Cincinnati, played extremely well against them. Caleb Williams in the offense, with the addition of Jordan Addison, Mario Williams at receiver, they have been extremely well in offense. They are high-powered. The sky's the limit for them guys. They could really come out of the Pac-12's the team. Caleb Williams could be in the top 3 for the Heisman. He's been extremely well. Then it comes down to Drake May and Tyler Van Dyke for the ACC guys. Tyler Van Dyke has not played any tough competition. I've liked the way he's played. He moves up. He's a good pocket quarterback from what I've seen on film. He's a really good quarterback to play in the pocket. He moves up in the pocket. He does pretty good at reading the ball, reading his cues downfield. Drake May. Drake May is the youngest. Yeah, he's the youngest of these guys. He plays the best. In my opinion, he plays the best. He reads the field better than any guy in the country. He's only a redshirt freshman. And he has a fucking rocket for an arm. Then again, Drake May is still young. He could still have a lot of mistakes. During his first 2 weeks of the season, he's played phenomenal. I don't see them really taking a step back. I don't see them having any problem with NC State when North Carolina plays. NC State, to me, just don't have that pass defense. They are more of a run defense team. They can stop the run. I don't see them being able to stop the pass at all this year when they play good quarterbacks. So Tyler Van Dyke and Drake May, when it comes to in-conference play and they have to play NC State or they have to play Clemson, I just don't see neither one of them teams being able to compete against their offense. Miami's probably. North Carolina's, I just don't see it. North Carolina offense is just way too good this year for me. Now, a lot could change. It's only week 2. You still have 10 more weeks in the season. Shit can change. But right now, through the first 2 weeks, those 4 quarterbacks are my guys. In addition, my 2 running backs would be Chase Brown out of Illinois and then Raheem Sanders out of Arkansas. Those are another two guys that I've liked. These guys are 3-down backs without a doubt. They can run, they can catch the ball, they can block. They have been the two best running backs so far through the first 2 weeks that I've seen. Raheem Sanders, he's explosive, good hands. He can make you miss after the catch. He can make you miss when you tackle. He's a really good, reliable back. Chase Brown, you can run the ball with him 40 or 50 times a game, and he's consistent for the next game. He's a really good, reliable back. He can catch the ball, make people miss. He's not as explosive as Raheem Sanders is, but he's reliable. And the way he's played has been really good. But I'm going to go ahead and start with KJ Jefferson. Now, KJ Jefferson probably has been one of the most accurate quarterbacks so far. Granted, he's only thrown the ball for 47 times compared to the other quarterbacks. He hasn't thrown the ball a whole lot. He has 385 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's run the ball for 129 more yards than the score. He's been extremely reliable. I wasn't able to get a whole lot of film and video on him, and that's my fault. But the sky's the limit for him this year. I would like to really see how he finished with conference play and what is in store for him. So coming in with my second quarterback, Caleb Williams, about the same thing I said about KJ. He's been extremely accurate. Almost 80% of his passes have been complete. Has almost 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. Him and his USC team, their offense has been extremely explosive. He's been one of the best quarterbacks, probably the best quarterback in the Pac-12 right now, and nobody else is touching this team. The way Caleb Williams and Addison, the addition that they added to this team, the level of explosiveness that they added to this team, they could honestly come out of the Pac-12 as the champs. I could see them winning the Pac-12 this year. Now, how they're going to perform when it comes to bowl games and when it comes to the national championship level, that's something that only time can tell. Now, Caleb Williams is a guy that I can see being in the Heisman. He's going to be top 3 in the Heisman without a doubt. He's one guy I'm extremely confident in. He keeps playing the way he's playing. The Pac-12 is not that strong. So the competition level isn't there. So he has a really good chance of keeping this up. And he has a really, really good chance of being in the Heisman finalists and probably the Heisman this year. Now, when it comes to the ACC, there's not many quarterbacks that I like a whole lot. And I can say Tyler Van Dyke is one of those quarterbacks that I do like. He's only a sophomore, and he plays like he's a junior or a senior. He has a 74% completion rating, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has thrown an interception. He has had some miscues. He's still a young guy. Do I see him being the Heisman this year? Probably not. Can he be a Heisman finalist if he keeps his Miami team up? Most definitely. Now, next year is probably going to be the big year for him, but just the way he's played so far, I just cannot keep him off my list. They haven't had no real tough opponents yet, and Texas A&M is that tough opponent. If Tyler Van Dyke plays like he's been playing so far, and they win against Texas A&M, he's definitely going to be on my list next week. Now, Drake May is the second quarterback out of the ACC that I see being a high-level quarterback. And I can't really say that about a lot of ACC quarterbacks. But Drake May is definitely very, very good. He reads the field very well. He steps up in the pocket. He runs the ball when he needs to. He doesn't run it a whole lot, but when he needs to run it, he can run it. He's thrown the ball almost 100 yards so far. Has almost 1,000 yards in the air, 74% completion rating for 11 touchdowns. He almost throws a first down on every one of his throws. Their biggest challenge upcoming is Notre Dame. Yes, Notre Dame has not played very good football, but they're still a good football team to play against them defensively. If North Carolina's offense can keep pumping out these numbers like they've been pumping, and Drake May can just be throwing rockets and missiles down the field like he's been doing so far, without a doubt, Drake May could be one of the best quarterbacks to finish the year. He has a lot of competition when it comes to a Heisman race, and it's only going to be week 3 coming up. So you still got a lot of weeks of football to play. A lot could change, a lot could happen, but the way he's been playing, the way he's opened the season, it's some of the best football to watch if you like high-power offenses. And I just love watching him play. The way he plays, to me, he's probably the best pocket passer in college football right now. He's only a redshirt freshman, and the sky's the limit for this kid. Now, coming in with my first running back on this list, Chase Brown. Chase Brown, you can give him the ball 40 times, like I said, a game, and he can open up the next game and still be really good. He's had 140 yards every single game in his first 3 games so far in the season. His most carries so far is 36 yards, and he went for almost 200 yards that game. He's averaging almost 7 yards a carry. He has 2 touchdowns. He hasn't received the ball a whole lot. He's only received it for 25 yards and a touchdown. But he's really dominant on the ground. You can have him on 1st through 4th, and nothing's going to change in his performance. He's going to give you the very best on every single play. Now, he's not as explosive as my second running back on the list. And he is not as explosive as I've seen in a lot of running backs this year. But the reason why he's on my list is because he has that element of reliability. And being reliable and putting up 150 yards a game and averaging 7 yards a carry, to me, is more important than carrying the ball for only 10 times for 300 yards. For him to be able to carry the ball as much as he's carrying it, averaging the yardage that he's averaging, is extremely impressive to me. And with my second running back, Raheem Sanders, his 273 yards through 2 games. He has just about 120 yards a game, 2 touchdowns, 42 yards receiving. He's probably one of the most explosive running backs. He can break tackle, make defenders miss. He's honestly probably the most explosive running back right now that I've seen. He's a 3-down back. You can let him carry the ball 20, 25 times a game, and he still produces. He's a threat in the receiving game. Now, I feel like when teams start picking up on the run, that receiving aspect that he has is going to be able to take off, and you're going to be able to see it a little bit more. But with the teams that they've played not really good run defense, he's been able to feast on the ground. And when he enters conference play and they start playing the run a little bit more, I think his receiving aspect is just going to take off, and he's just going to show that second element that he has. I think there's a second element in his game that has not been activated yet, but that's because the defense that they've played hasn't played good against him in the run. So I think Raheem Sanders can definitely be the best running back in college football at the end of the year. Like I said at the beginning of the video, my socials will be in the bio. So a like and a follow would be very much appreciated. Subscribe and like to this video. That would be appreciated as well. Like I said, this Heisman Watch video will be up every single week. Between Wednesday and Friday, I'll have one up. I am trying to get better at doing this. So bear with me, and to everyone who watches, I very much appreciate it. Thank you.